All right. Let's see how many people can get in here. All right, we got one person in here. What's up? What's going on? Welcome to the live stream. Haven't been live streaming very much. I've been quite busy. Just wait for more people to come in here. We got 3 people now. Awesome, awesome. Welcome back to the live stream again in the LA Fitness parking lot. So I just got out of the gym. So let's see. Not too bad today. Gonna do some laundry. Then I'm gonna study. Gotta clean up a little bit. Looking for apartments now, but more so probably a room because the apartments are expensive. I checked out an apartment today. My friend sent me. It was on Round Lake, and I called them, and they're like, "Yeah, we want 50. It's gonna be around $1,500 total, plus the utilities and everything. And then, of course, they need first month's and last month's rent, so that's over double the amount of money they want. So I think they said they wanted like $3,000 something because first month and last month rent. But over $1,500 a month is just something I cannot afford, especially with my measly job, the measly salary they're paying me. Yeah, I was just like, thanks anyway. That's not going to happen. $1,500 a month is a lot, and it's just, I can't do it. I asked if they had a studio. They're like, no, we don't have any studios. So I was like, all right, thanks anyway. What's going on, Lennon? How you doing? Tongue show so high. I have no idea what does that mean? I didn't know you learned another language. Kiefer. Hi, Trent. What's going on? Welcome back to a live stream. I've not done many live streams these days lately. I've been really busy, doing studying, doing work, going to the gym. I got a lot on my mind, a lot of things to do. I got to do laundry after this. It's a shit ton of laundry. I got all my blankets and shit back there. I got to do 2 baskets of laundry in the back I got to do. So, and the laundromat just takes forever to do. It's going to take at least an hour and a half to 2 hours to do because the fucking dryers, they suck so bad. So you got to keep putting in every single 15 minutes. You got to put another quarter and another quarter and another quarter, another quarter, and another quarter. And they're just milking money out of you with these, with these machines. Having to put in a quarter every 15 minute cycle. So it's like, plus the machines are old. So it's like, as long as they don't have to fix them, they benefit because then you just have to keep putting in more money. So, let's see. I'm doing all right, man. I just got out of the gym. I got a shit ton of laundry to do. I'm gonna study later. Like I said, I was telling him before. I called an apartment complex my friend sent me. They wanted $1,500 total plus utilities, and I'm like, dude, I just don't have the money. I don't have the money for $1,500. I can't afford to pay $1,500. So I was like, what kind of studios do you have? And they're like, no, we don't have any studios available. So I'm just like, all right, well, I guess there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. $1,500 for 1 bedroom is just, but I mean, that's standard now. Like that's kind of standard. That's the world we're living in, where you just have to pay out the ass for everything. It's, and it was only for a 1 bedroom. It was $1,500 for a 1 bedroom. So you know. Um, any change in plans as far as what? I dropped my Instagram. I mean, I don't really use Instagram much. I have it, but I guess if enough people want it, I'll give it. I'm not really active on Instagram at all. Um, yeah, I don't know that anyone can afford them. It's just, it's too much, right? It's too much. There's a time, like, even if you're making $3 grand, that's half your rent. I mean, like, that's half your paychecks for the entire month for rent. And then you got food, then you got internet, you got phone. Anybody that tells me, internet's a must. You can say internet's a must now because everything's online. You got to do it online, so you can't apply in person anymore. I mean, that's kind of a must. You gotta have a phone, right? Because how are you gonna have employers getting you call you back if you don't have a phone? What are you gonna do if you don't have phone and internet? You gotta have phone and internet. Um, so and then you gotta have a car insurance, of course, and the gas and all. You guys know the drill. You know how much it costs. Um, I moved in my SUV last year, planning on going live and planning to go and live in Asia for the rest of the year. But I have no kids, wife, career. Some say, well, that's great. I mean, that's great. You should keep it like, honestly, keep it that way. Like you don't need to have a wife or kids to be happy. As long as you got enough money to do what you want to do. Like, I think that's great. Go live in Asia. Have some fun over there. Live a less expensive life over there. I think, I that sounds like a great life to me, honestly. If I just need the money. I just got to get the money right now, man. That's the only thing I've been focusing on. Is just getting money. Doing my courses, still doing the studying. It's been a real drag. I'm still stuck on the HTML and the CSS. Well, more so the CSS. It's just really fucking. There's so much to learn in this court in the CSS courts. I'm like, it's just like, and I've watched video after video after video, and I just don't understand CS. I mean, I do understand CSS, but to put a whole website together by myself, because the next project I'm going to be doing is putting the website together. It's just, I don't know. It's hard, man. It's hard. So I've just been doing that. I'm trying to watch more videos to try to understand it better. Using ChatGTP for that, and that's what I've been doing. Besides that, like I said, I'm still dealing with the nasty bitch. I said in my last live stream, she like, I don't know what I did. She threatened to kick me out. Like, I just woke up one morning and she sent me a message. She's like, I see you don't want to do anything, nor do you want me to tell you what to do, nor do you want to like clean. You don't want to do anything in this house while you're paying rent here. So if you don't want to do anything, you can like look for a new place to live. And I'm like, again, like, we've talked about this. The day I moved in, I asked you, if you want me to do certain things for you, then you need to make a list. You need to make a list of certain things that you want done, Monday through Friday. What hours do you want them done? Like, we never had an agreement as far as what you wanted me to do. If you wanted me to do certain things at certain times and certain days, like, I clean up after myself in the kitchen and everything, and I clean my room as soon as I can. Like, as soon as I'm not busy, I clean the room. But it's just like, you cannot just send messages. And I should have never given her phone. I should have never given her my phone number. But it's like, you cannot just send messages to me willy-nilly whenever you want to, even if I'm in the middle of something, and expect me to jump when you say jump. It doesn't work like that. Either make a list of things that I have to do, or shut up. Like, I don't understand, where you believe you can just tell me what to do whenever you want, and you expect me to just jump up and do it. It's not how it works. I mean, yeah, but it's like, you know, I mean, I don't give her direction. I don't give her reactions directly. I just ignore it. Like, she sends me messages, but I just ignore it. Um, but I mean, I have a problem because she's like, she threatened to kick me out for no reason. That's the problem that I have. Um, I mean, yeah, get ChatGPT to build it for you, but the problem is I'm just not understanding all the different ways to style. It's like, It's the pixels, it's the width, it's the height, it's this, it's that. It's like after a while, it's just everything combined just becomes overwhelming. Like it's fine in the beginning, the whole CSS thing, but then after a while, it's just like I can't remember. I can't remember all this shit. It's hard. Um, if I was poor and able-bodied in the U.S., I would drive a truck and live out of it on my car. You could probably save. Yeah, MK Gaming. Who is that? Um, I just broke down on the freeway. I'm missing work. Kind of happy, even though I'm sitting in my car sweating, waiting for a tow. I mean, is your boss still trying to get you to come in or what? I was thinking about your rants today and lived and your live the other day. Kind of new to the channel, so I hope you. Sorry, kind of new to the channel, so don't know your name, but hope all is well. My name is Brandon. I've said it before in previous videos, so I understand because you're new to the channel. But welcome to the channel. I'm trying to do live streams a little bit more. I hadn't done a live stream previously in like months before, so um, I'm trying to do more live streams right now. Um, yeah, I've lived in my car before. I've lived in my car. I've been there and I've done that. And Doghouse. What is that? It's a way for him to save money. Mentioned you that video. Which video? Like I don't know which. I watched one of your last videos, City Crusher. I just didn't know. I'm not sure what video it was that you mentioned me, but Brandon is an AI. Okay. Living in a van earns more than what 60%. Living in a van earns more than what 60% of the U.S. population can save in a year. Wait, I'm trying to. That doesn't make sense. What do you mean? You can save more. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. Panhandlers can make 100K a year. Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll go out in the street right now and just start panhandling. Be one of those be one of those people on one of those videos where they're panhandling and then later on you see them getting into a luxury BMW and driving off. Rent in Sydney is like median 800% more. That's $3,200. Mine is $3,600. So I choose to live on the coast. The apartment is dog shit. Jeez, for it to be dog shit for that price is that's pretty crazy. Let's see. I love it when strangers tell you to do crazy shit they would never do themselves. They always say it with a straight face too. Um, yeah, I've lived in my car for 5 months. It's not a thing you want to do. It's really not. You get moved all the fucking time. You always have to watch out for the police. You have to watch out for weirdos and drug addicts. Can you do it? Yes, of course you can do it, but it's not a life. It's really not. It's really like, in the end, you're wasting gas. You're wasting more gas than you wouldn't if you just not to live in your car. They're still trying to get me to come in, and I'm definitely not. Even that gig economy apps are a joke. $1 to $2 a mile, for no matter what a stupid hoops you gotta jump through. Well, that's what I'm saying is you're putting so many miles on those with those gig economy apps. You're putting so many miles on your vehicle. It's like it's not even worth it because you're just putting more wear and tear on your car as you use those apps, and the apps don't pay any. There was a time where Walmart Spark. I was using Walmart Spark that used to pay good. It used to pay good back in like 2022, 2023. I was getting actually decent. It saved me when I was out of a job pretty much doing Spark every day. Walmart Spark, that pretty much saved me from going homeless, honestly. That and the fact that like I didn't have to pay that much rent to my friend who I was living with at the time. How much am I bringing in? It just depends. I'm only bringing like $2,400 a month if I don't do overtime. Um, Rent's 500 plus. Food is 300 to 500 because of how expensive it is. Then I got car insurance that's 80 plus. I got my phone and internet. I got other things. I got school. School is like the loan I took out is 230 a month, which it's not that much. I can pay back. I can pay back the school. I almost have enough to pay back the school anyway. That's the only thing I actually have on credit. Thankfully, my credit card's paid. My credit card was paid off. I was paying $180 on my credit card for years. Um, I finally paid off my credit card, which is good. Bitcoin is at an all-time high. Well, again, that's why I'm learning full stack. That's why I'm learning CSS, HTML. That's why I'm going to learn JavaScript, learn about AI. That's why I'm doing all these courses. I don't know if they're going to go anywhere, but hopefully. Start a landscaping company if you want to start a concrete company. So go work at one and see what it takes to make it big. Bitcoin is now at an all-time high. Is it really? I mean, I do have some money invested. Yeah, I do have some money invested. I invested in XRP. I invested in Shiba Inu. I invested in that new coin. My friend made a lot of money from that. I talked about it last stream. That new coin called Mudang. I invested in that. It's like a coin from the Philippines or something. Invested in a couple other stocks. Um, Am I moving to Mexico? No, I'm not. I don't know. That's later down the line. I'm in school. I'm doing school right now, trying to get a better paying job. That's later down the line. If I move anywhere, yeah, it's either gonna be. I don't know. It might be Mexico. It might be Colombia. It might be just depends. It just depends on like what I. It's not gonna be here though. It depends on what's best for me at the time. Honestly. Um. Is it better to live with a wet? Yeah. I mean, she's pretty horrible, but I'm doing the best I can to ignore it. Living with roommates now, living with two roommates. If the rent wasn't so cheap, I wouldn't be here. It's luckily the rent's so cheap, honestly. I'm really hoping it is, like, because people have said, well, AI is going to take over that, and like, I understand, but it's not like I'm just learning HTML. I'm learning everything I can. I'm going to be learning about AI. I'm going to be learning about JavaScript. I'm going to be learning about React soon. React's another program. It's not just HTML and CSS. I'm learning all these different things. So I understand the concerns about the AI, but I think if I constantly keep leveling up and learning new skills, because the ones that stay are the ones that learn new skills. The ones that fall behind, are the ones that just know the basics like HTML and CSS. So if I keep learning, if I keep plugging in at it and I keep learning it, even if it takes me a year or two or more, as long as I keep at it, I'll know I'll make it. Um, Wait. Well, I'm doing courses online. I'm doing online courses. It's more so boot camp. It's a boot camp right now to gaining skills in a boot camp, but I'm not actually going in. I wouldn't have time to actually go to college in person with on top of my full-time job. Um, what is better than fiat USD, fiat cryptocurrency that can be tracked and traced every single transaction forever? Learn to code while living in a dog house. What is a dog house? I'm confused. Can a dog code in a dog house? What? My plan is to move to Tasmania. Where's Tasmania at? Tasmania, get my rent down to $800 per month. No, it's not always a nightmare. I mean, it's kind of like, it's partially my fault, the situation, honestly, because the last woman I lived with was good, but the problem is she wanted to raise the rent, and she was going to charge me like 700 something dollars, which before she was charging me, she was giving me an increase of like $100+ or something like that. So I was paying like 600 something, and then she wanted to charge me up to like 775 or something, and I was just like, I can't afford that. So that was pretty much the reason why I decided to move out. No, but not everyone are. A lot of them were. A lot of them were, but not every single one. Um, my plan is to weather the storm just because it's going to get worse and worse. Yeah, I agree. That's all we can really do. What else? What else are you gonna do? It is just gonna get worse and worse here, unfortunately. Um, I have my smallpox paid off, only like 400 to 500 in bills to get SSDI, but I have no money because I'm helping out friends. Yeah, yet. Let me tell you something about helping out friends. Every single time that I've lent out money to people in the past, okay, I never got that money back. I never got that money back. You have to be really careful when you just help people out, when you lend out money willy-nilly like that. People are going to say whatever they want. They're, oh, yeah, pay it back, whatever. Like, it's not true. And this is why I don't lend money out. I had a lady at work. I shit you not. I've never had anybody ask me this. I had a lady at work um, who asked me to, what did she want it for? I can't remember. There was two people at work. One asked me jokingly to lend her $1,000 for a new phone, for a new smartphone, because it broke. And then another lady asked me to, she asked me to pay her $1,000 for, it was something about renewing an ID or a social security card, or social security card or something like that. And I'm not saying that she was doing anything illegal, but like, she is Venezuelan, and she was like, it's for my daughter. Like, she needs to renew her ID. It was some ID, or like her social security or something along the lines of that. So I'm like, that sounds shady. That sounds really fucking shady. I'm not gonna do that. And I just laugh because those are the only times I've ever had. I had two people ask me for that amount of money, but I've like I said, I've had a bunch of people ask for money in the past. Money for weed, money for this, money for that, and most of the time I never saw it back. So you got to be careful when you lend out money to people, because you don't know, man. You really don't know. Let's see. Pretty soon the USD is not going to. That's what they're trying to do. Healing this. They're trying to make it go all digital. I've been telling people this. It will go all digital, whether people like it or not. It will go all digital, and that's not going to be a good thing when it happens. It's not. Do you want to be tracked everywhere? Do you want your money to be tracked everywhere? Every single transaction's always going to be tracked, no matter what? I don't. Do you think it's like over for me? I don't know how else to put it, but I work at Amazon part-time currently, and also doing college, majoring in pharmacology. I'm planning to go out in July. Well, why would it be over for you, Lesser Chan? I don't know how old you are. I'm assuming maybe you're in your 20s. I don't know if you're going to college, but why would it be over? So you work at Amazon part-time, you're in school for pharmacology. I don't know. I don't exactly know how the field is in that. But at least you're doing something. You're not sitting on your ass doing nothing. So as far as is it over for you? Why would it be over for you? As long as you're trying, you'll get it done eventually. You just have to keep pushing towards it. Am I able to have a social life? I don't like. I have my friend who texted me, who wanted to go out to a movie, but to be honest, like, I haven't been going out with friends just because I don't want to go out with friends. I want to get this school done. I want to get my courses done. I want to spend as much time as possible studying what I need to study, the HTML, the CSS, React, the full stack thing that I'm doing, this boot camp. I want to just just take as much time as I need to get this done. So I haven't been seeing friends. I don't really have a social life. No, I haven't really been doing anything. So I just don't feel like it either. It's when you have a shitty job and that's keeping you broke, it's like, I don't really want to distract myself with movies, friends, games, whatever. I haven't really been distracting myself. Like, whatever I've been needing to get done, I've been doing. So no, I don't really have a social life. Um, let's see. And do cheat the system. A lot of Hispanics are shady and do cheat the system. Yeah, they do. But it's just like lots of poor people cheat the system. Lots of blacks cheat. It's not just Hispanics that do it. It's also a very common thing with blacks. It's a common thing, with poor people. It's not just like, designated to one race. People pleasing kills your soul. Yeah, it really does. It really does. Everybody who's had narcissistic parents or who was raised by narcissistic people in my chat knows this. That, when you people please, when you shut up and you don't express your concerns or your problems that you have with somebody or something, then you just die a little bit more inside, because you're just shutting up. You're just trying to please them, and that's not who you are. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that everybody's gonna be like that and not pay you back. I mean, there are gonna be people who will pay you back, who don't pay you back. Some obviously it's not everybody, but a lot of people just don't. A lot of people don't. Oops. Should Argentina switch to the U.S. dollar as its official currency? I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I don't even know what their currency is right now. And getting into bicycle maintenance and repair, I mean, that might be good. Like, for like the summer, doing that around the summer. Like, there'd probably be a lot of people that need that, I would assume. Let's see. Christian Slater. What does he look like? Christian Slater. I feel like I've heard that name before, but I don't know. Who's Christian Slater? Like, what movies did he play in? I don't have any friends either, but it's not bad. Like, I don't really care. Like, I'm not really trying to focus on hanging out with people. I'm not like, after work, I just kind of get like, I'm not really like an extrovert. After work, I just kind of get tired of talking with people. Like, it's already hard enough, faking, because it's kind of like everybody's got to put a mask on at work, right? You got to fake being social. You got to fake being, this hard worker and this and that. And it's just like, at the end of the day, I just want to go home. I don't really want to talk to anybody anyway, so. Was he in Saved by the Bell? Said Congress eliminate the Department of Education and should state and local governments abolish the education departments as well. I mean, we really need the education this system needs to be reformed. It's what it needs to be. We need to keep these drag queens, okay, out of the education system. We need to stop teaching children that gender is what you feel. We need to stop teaching children that, you can be a man on a Sunday, and then when Tuesday comes, you can be a woman if you feel like it. We need to stop feeding kids bullshit. We need to stop feeding kids bullshit about their gender, because these kids are becoming confused about, it's like, well, the teacher told me that one day I can be a boy, and then the next day I can be a girl, and then that there are 1,000 different genders and pronouns and this and that. It's like, we're feeding them bullshit. We're feeding them all this bullshit. So that's one of the things that needs to change. The other thing is just that, these teachers don't really care all that much. They never really cared when I was in school 10 plus years ago, and they still don't really care. Especially substitute teachers. They come in, They point to the board, say, this is the assignment you have to do. If you have any questions, don't talk to me. I'm going to be on my smartphone playing games. Like, there's so many other things wrong with the school system. Bullying and whatnot, obviously. But, you know, the whole thing just needs to be reformed. It's part of the reason, again, why we have all these fucking school shooters. And I think, to be honest, it goes deeper than that. I think a lot of these school shooters, because you'll notice is, and I'm getting off and kind of into a rant, you'll notice a lot with these school shooters like Nicholas Cruz, and the ones that shot up the Columbine, and all these school shooters have one thing in common. Elliot Rogers, they all seem to come from a nice family on the outside. They all seem to come from a nice family in a nice neighborhood. Everything's good and great. And all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, they just snap, and the parents get interviewed. They're like, well, we just don't know what happened. Our kid was just so nice, and we gave him everything, and this and that, and he just snapped. All right, looks can be deceiving. That's all I'm going to say. Just because something looks nice and beautiful on the outside doesn't mean it's not messy and ugly on the inside. All right, but, you know, parents never want to, they're always like, well, we just had no idea this was going to happen. He always was such a nice boy. He never said anything. We had no idea what was going on. It's like bullshit. Bullshit. It's the school system and it's narcissistic and sociopathic parents that are fucking up these kids who seemingly come from a nice neighborhood, seemingly have nothing wrong with them, and all of a sudden, right, they just go apeshit one day. Well, he just had problems, they say. Let's see. Twins. Okay. Yeah, Elliot Rogers, probably was entitled. But again, I think it goes more. He's probably bullied too. He's probably bullied at home. He's probably bullied at school. It goes a lot deeper than just he was entitled, this and that. Like, okay, there are entitled people. There are rich entitled people, but they're not going around shooting people. They're not going around driving people over. Like, that doesn't make people shoot and drive people. I really don't think so. I really don't think so. City Crush, okay, I understand he couldn't get the girl, but how is he being treated at home? How is he being treated at school? Was he being bullied by other people? Just because, you know, you're an incel and you can't get the girl, like, it goes, I understand that's probably why, too, because he probably wasn't getting any girls. Or not probably, he wasn't getting any women. But it goes deeper than that, you know. He was probably bullied by his parents. He's probably been bullied at school. You know, it was a combination of things, and he just snapped. Okay, so he was autistic as well, but again, there are autistic incels. They're not going around shooting up schools. Yeah, and his parents didn't care. His parents didn't care. There was a lack of love. There was probably bullying somewhere else. Parents didn't care. No girlfriend. It's probably a combination of things. I agree. City Crusher. DBDR, at least he accepts his fate. Jeez. I mean, you know, the thing is, if DBDR didn't make videos, like, you know, I'm glad to see DBDR is doing better at least. At least DBDR is doing better. I wish he wasn't so hard on himself all the time in every single video, but at least he's doing somewhat better. At least the last time I heard. At least has a better job. He's doing better. He's not as depressed. I've left comments on his videos before, telling him that, you know, look, your parents are like carbon copies of mine. I'm telling you, there are some similarities from what you're telling me. You got to get out of your parents' house. You got to go live your life because they're clearly making you miserable. You know, and unless you want to be more miserable, unless you want your parents to continue beating you down, you got to get out of there. That's all I got to say. You got to find a way to get out of there. So, I really hope she doesn't like me because she's very unattractive in my opinion. But besides that, she's a lesbian, so that would leave me extra confused. And I'm not attracted to women who act like masculine men, so I really hope that's not the case. Red pill is low key incel movement. I don't really know. I don't watch too like. I don't know. I don't watch enough. I don't know. Watch enough red pill content to really know. How do you do with the overwhelming weight of being alone and having no access to family? Has it ever affected your dating life? I mean, like, I don't have a problem getting attraction from women, but I'm not trying to date it like right now either. So, did a video on Shaquille O'Neal recently. Shaq kicked his sons out at 18, but kept his daughters around. That should tell you what guys go through with their parents. Yeah, sounds about right. I didn't get kicked out, but I was pretty much forced out because they were being abusive. Every time I, I'd want to leave. They'd say don't leave, and then the abusive behavior would just ramp out. Like, my parents did not want to kick me out because they wanted somebody to be around who would be a punching bag. Excuse me, aka the scapegoat. I was the scapegoat. I was the punching bag. Hence, they didn't want me to leave because of that. By the way, what video did you mention me? I don't City Crusher. I don't know, because you said you mentioned me in some video about something. I don't know what, I didn't see what it was. Because I don't know what video you mentioned me. I saw one of your videos, but how do you know he has no family? Wait, who are we talking about? Me? I think the internet has radicalized a lot of generation of men. You have men who believe that they need money to find love. I'm gonna be honest. I think you pretty much, it's if there is true love, I haven't seen it. I have not seen true love from being with a woman. I truly believe that love has as many conditions with women. Okay, it's never 100% true. That's just my honest opinion. No woman's gonna go out with somebody who's completely broke. There's no such thing as unconditional love, in my opinion. You posted it here, it doesn't go through. I didn't see anything go through. You said you did a video on Shaquille O'Neal. Was that the one where you mentioned me? I don't know. Did you post a video on here? No, I didn't see anything go through. Martha Stewart, episode 525. Okay. Struggling to replace Andy. Okay. Get a car with a camera mount with live stream. Yeah, I agree. Like, a camera mount on my front rear, my front mirror right here would be really good. Like, something I can mount, and I agree. Because this isn't really. It works, but it's not. Yeah, I agree. That would be better. Get a bigger phone screen. I would require me getting another phone. I just got this phone not that long ago. What I really need is a better computer setup, and I'll eventually get that. Would you consider moving to Eastern Europe? Serbia is very popular with Americans and Canadians. I consider. I really don't. I believe Serbia is really cold, isn't it? I wouldn't. What I'm looking for is more of a hotter climate. I'm not really looking for a freezing cold climate. Since I live in Illinois, it's always cold here. I'm looking to move to a place with nicer weather. Password bros learn the hard way as women overseas use to a certain lifestyle. American women are more open to building with a man than a foreign chick. Yeah, that's why most men here are not relationships. American women are not more open to building with a man. They're not. um, and I can agree to the extent that, you know, a lot of foreign women probably just want your money anyway. Um, but I've said in the past, go overseas to save money and to live a better life. And then if you want to get with a chick or whatever, you can get with a chick. But you know, saving money and living a better lifestyle overseas, if you want to go overseas, should be your first priority. Because it's not getting any cheaper in the U.S. It's really not. Serbia is quite far south. It will be warm. Okay. Yeah, my knowledge of geography is not the best, so I do apologize. Right. Well, it just depends. It depends if you can get something remote. If you, yeah, it does require money, but it also depends if you can get something, some kind of remote career going. Um, cheap living, a lot of opportunities, and feminine, normal women. God, us being best place to live is changing very fast. Panama City's like Florida, but cheaper. Serbian people try hard to get into the U.S. Why is that? Do I have seat covers? What do you mean if I have seat covers? No, I don't. Why? I mean, I've thought about Spain as well. But I heard they're very feminist over there, which I'm not really. I'm not trying to go somewhere where it's super feminist. You know, there's a bunch of feminism going on. There's a bunch of man-hating laws. I don't want to go anywhere like that. What about Afghanistan? Are you serious? Women often like women to be funny, rich, or good looking. Just be the funny one to get laid. Spain is uber feminist. From the videos I've seen, from what I've researched, Spain is very feminist. I'm not trying to go to a place with anti-male laws. Your dollar will make you do a lot. But who's going to Afghanistan? Are people going to Afghanistan? I haven't heard about any people going to Afghanistan. At least I haven't heard about Americans leaving to go to Afghanistan. I feel like I'm in a race with artificial intelligence replacing me. I'm trying to save and invest as much as possible, but I'm running up against the clock. Why is that? Why is that, Thunderbird? What's going on? What would you think if your next roommate was a obese lesbian radical feminist who listens to David Bowie? I mean, well, my current roommate is already an obese lesbian, so, and she's most likely feminist. I know she's LGBTQ because she has a flag in the bathroom, an LGBTQ flag. So I know she's LGBT, the whole gay pride thing. I don't know if she listens to David Bowie. I don't think so. I doubt it. Because she's Hispanic, but she's LGBTQ and she's lesbian and she's obese. South Korea has an active, successful men's movement. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. Has five nose rings. Jeez, I fucking hate the nose. I can't tell you how much I fucking hate the nose rings. It looks so bad on women. It looks so ugly. Just put it. What do they think? Like, what do they think? Just put like a giant. Just fucking put a giant fucking septum bull ring right here. So every time I fucking breathe, it just flies up in the air. Just like, what do they think? Do they really actually honestly think that looks attractive to guys? I really don't understand. I don't understand it. Nose rings look bad on everyone. Yes, those people used to be called DSM until 1972. Now it's called normal. We're just normalizing bullshit. We're normalizing genders, what you feel. We're normalizing pronouns, they, them, he, she, and we're supposed to take these people seriously. I can't take you seriously if you're gonna call yourself a they, them, or the it. It's stupid. It's stupid. We're normalizing idiocracy. We're normalizing stupid shit. Up is down, left is right, sideways is reverse. It's like anything goes in 2025, it seems. I'm a sucker for the hoop earrings, ladies. Like, wear if they can rock them. I mean, that's fine. Wear the hoop earrings. That's fine, but don't wear a fucking bull ring. Like, that's disgusting. It's gross. It's gross. I'm sorry. It's gross. You can wear hoop rings, like that's fine. But I think that looks fine if you can pull it off. But I've never seen anybody with a bull ring who could pull it off. It just looks fucking gross. It's fucking gross. Are you telling us that Muslims aren't wrong about certain things? What do you mean? Let's see. What about tats? Do you like if they have tats or not? You can have some tattoos, but if you are tattooed from head to toe, then that's, I don't go out with, I haven't been out with girls that have a bunch of tattoos. I never will, because most of them come with problems in my experience. From what I've seen, at least, because I've had friends that have gone out with them. I mean, if you have a tattoo or something, that's fine. But if you have your whole arm covered, your whole body covered in tattoos, no, I take that back. I did go out with one with tattoos, and that was my ex. Her whole body was covered in tattoos. And that was horrible. That was horrible. That was the only one I went out with who had a lot of tattoos. And she turned out to be really crazy. And she had problems. And I'll never do that again. What about tats? Do you like if they I just don't really like a bunch of tattoos. Like, I don't. I mean, I went out with this last one because she had tattoos, but she had a great personality in the beginning. She had a great personality until she didn't have a great personality, until her crazy side came out. And then it was adios, bye-bye. They don't allow tattoos, piercings in their religion. They try to push the covering of the head. And if you go to the extreme, music is not allowed in certain places like Afghanistan. You sound like you should be on the DSM. Okay. Just rip the tattoo off your teeth and make a Hollywood movie about it. No tattoos, no attitude, just a normal feminine woman that just wants to be with a normal man. Does that still exist? I haven't, if it does, I haven't seen it. At least in America, I haven't seen it. No purple hair, no colored hair. I don't do any colored hair or anything like that. Septum rings, colored hair, anything like that. It's just like, you wouldn't be out in the jungle. If you are out in the jungle and you saw one of those poisonous frogs with all the different colors, you would know not to touch it. You'd have some common sense not to touch it. Okay, it's the same with women. You don't look at a woman with a bunch of different colored hairstyles, million tattoos, and septum ring, and you're like, no. You'd be like, no, you're not going to touch that. They're fine to look at. It's just like a lion. They're fine to look at from a distance. Just don't touch them. I believe it's over for relationships and never go back to normal, just like the economy. Well, the economy is not going back to normal. It's going to get worse, unfortunately. There's nothing we can do about that. I like the frog analogy, yeah. Companies give professional hiring for higher paying soft skill jobs. Don't have any precisely, because if you don't get into a fight, they're easy targets. Nothing we can do about it. Losers think. All right. Okay. G-Odd or whatever your name is. So what do we do about it? What are you going to do about the economy besides work more? Saying there's nothing you can really do about the prices. So what are you going to do? Oh, but you probably think voting's going to do something, right? And we just need to vote in another idiot into the office, right? We just need to vote for this idiot or that idiot. He's going to change things. What I'm saying that there's nothing you can do is there's nothing you can do about that as a whole. There's nothing you can do to change the economy as a whole. You need to, it's pretty much, this is how it is in America. It's every man for himself. This is the system that's been designed. I'm not saying you can't have a positive attitude, sure, of course. But as a whole, the economy, there's nothing you can do about it. We're already too far, deep into this. The economy's already, it's been bad for years. There's nothing you can do that's going to change this in 50 years, nor is it going to change in 100 years. Concocted by the happy merchants. What does that mean? An episode of the science show showed a study that having a more positive attitude and more difficult tasks on average gives you easier results in your projects in your career. Okay, yeah, I believe that. But when you've had a lifetime of negative experiences, God, I mean, you can't just snap yourself out of it all the time, all right? Positive thinking comes from having positive experiences, and if you haven't had that, you can't just, it's not just an overnight process where you can just rewire your brain to be positive, all right? I'm self-employed, so no work pension. I'm worried about how I'm going to weather this economic storm. Oh, I mean, I don't know. It just depends. What are you self-employed at? Are you getting clients? Do you have a healthy amount of clients? Do you have people that come back? Hey, bro, I'm in limbo in life. I'm late 20s, have a little bit of money set aside, unemployed. I have no drive or passion. How can I get back to work? It's hard. Because there are not many jobs. There really aren't many jobs out there. Not that I've seen. There are a lot of scams. I've been getting calls every day, multiple times a day, saying, they're from this company or they're from that company. They got a WhatsApp scam the other day. Saying, they were hiring for this and they were paying all this money and it was going to be online, remote, and it's hard. There's a lot of scams, but the best thing I can say right now is the time to try to build something. And that's not going to pay you money right away, I know, but I would say continue to look for jobs and build some kind of side income on your own, some kind of side hustle or something that's going to at least get you partially self-employed, at least partially, and make, do something that you'll eventually like to do if you can. I'm not saying it's 100% possible, but if you can build something and gain a little bit of money from that by yourself, and you enjoy it, then I think in the end that'll make it worth it. Even if it's something just part-time, in my opinion, that will at least make your day somewhat better, I think. Because I like doing this channel, and I get some money from it too, but I mostly like doing the channel. I like talking to you guys, I like doing the live stream, I like helping people. So, what were your dreams for your life growing up? I had naive dreams. When I was a kid, I thought about being some kind of safari explorer when I was 8 years old. When I got older, every single thing that I wanted to do, I would get talked out of by my parents, and they would ask me what I want to do, this or that. It was first as personal trainer, then I was veterinarian, then I was vet technician, then it was learning how to be dog groomer, cutting hair, and pretty much every single thing I got talked out of by my parents. they would try to talk me out of it, or they would try to sabotage me in some way, so I wouldn't do it. But now I'm not. It's just, I mean, I like what I'm doing right now. I like what I'm learning with the HTML, the CSS, and eventually I'm going to go on to the JavaScript and all this. Like I said, I like doing YouTube, but as far as like, do I have some dream, that I would like, some dream career? No, I don't have any dream career anymore, I would say. I like what I'm doing right now. I like doing YouTube. I don't like this factory job that I'm at, but I like what I'm learning with the whole programming, HTML and CSS. But I mean, let's see. Do I have mild depression? Yeah, of course. I've been severely depressed for years, of course. I've taken all different kinds of medication. Medication does not work for the most part. I don't believe in these medications. I don't take any antidepressants. Because with the antidepressants, it just makes you numb. It makes everything numb. All right? So you're not feeling any pain, but you're also not feeling any pleasure. You're not feeling anything. And then after that, you have to take a higher dose, because once the dose wears off and becomes ineffective, you got to go on a higher dose, and then a higher dose, and then a higher dose. And it's just, what's the point? I've been on multiple different medications before, but I would rather just take it all in. I would rather just feel what I need to feel and heal the way I need to heal, and not be on any kind of medications or any kind of drugs to numb myself out. Because what's the point? Because once that wears off, then I'm just going to be back to where I'm started. I might as well just deal with it all. Work sucks. That's why smart guys get on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, get online. I would say get online. Get online nowadays, because these employers don't give a single fuck about you. They really don't give a fuck about you. I've had enough jobs in the last 10 years to know that they don't care about you. They'll fire you whenever they want. HR's not your friend. Most of them are feminist women, okay? They're not there for you. They're there for the company. They don't care about you. Guys, you need to find something, whether that's even just not part-time or whatever. It would help if you can get some money full-time, but you need to find something for you, so you're not stuck working for these fucking employers for the rest of your life. Because I'm telling you, it's miserable. Working at a fucking warehouse is miserable. Working at retail is miserable. Working these jobs for these employers is miserable. They decide what time you eat. They decide what time you go to the bathroom. They decide when you get to go home. They decide what time you wake up, and they decide where you live, because you have to live close enough to the job, because if you don't live close enough to the job, you won't make it on time. So even if it's something small, try to do something online to get a little bit of extra money, because you don't want to have every single aspect of your life controlled by somebody else. It sucks. It really does. Well, I probably have major PTSD. I don't know what it is. I've never got diagnosed correctly. I don't think you could go through what I've been through and not have major PTSD. I really don't. I have a lot of different things. I'm sure, but I haven't got properly diagnosed, so I don't know. I've been on a shit ton of different medications, from Ritalin, from Prozac, from fucking Wellbutrin, from fucking Zoloft. I've been on, Mirtazapine. I've been on every goddamn medication. My mom used to shove pills down my throat. Like I've said, I've mentioned this before. When I was a kid, I'd be medicated. My mom would shove different pills down my throats. I didn't want them. If I didn't swallow them, she would put them in bread and fucking peanut butter and shove that down my throat, make me swallow that. So it's probably a combination of, I'm suffering from all the different effects of the medications, all the medications I was put on by my parents, by my mother. And, you know, the fact that I probably have CPTSD or PTSD or whatever from all the other shit that I've been through with them. I don't know. I watch tourists walk all the time. Very relaxing. Medieval villages are the best. Okay. Who wants to depopulate with me? Medication doesn't help depression. Improving finances. Right. If you improve your life, you improve your mental health. You can numb yourself with pills if you want to. Whatever, you know, it's whatever. That's fine, but that's not going to improve your finances. That's not going to improve what you need to work on. I agree. No, I don't like Riddle. I don't like drugs. I've been on I know it's a lot of these are just the ones off the top of my head. If I was to ask my doctor who lives, you know, an hour away from me, or who's an hour away from me, if he can pull my files and see what all the different kinds of medications I've been on from when I was a kid to a late adult in my you know, my early 20s, in my late 20s, it'd probably be dozens. It would probably be dozens of medications, honestly. I've been on Haldol. I don't know. I didn't even know what Haldol was. I've been on benzos. What else have I been on? Fuck. I mean, I've been on Ritalin. Yeah, I've been on Ritalin too. I don't know. A shit ton, dude. I don't know. Should you eat shrooms? I mean, I don't know. What was the most traumatic event? Oh, jeez. There was a lot of them. I mean, I don't know if I could really pick a certain one. Like, a lot of them. From going homeless, from going to the mental hospital, twice. I mean, I could tell you probably pretty tragic, just from not even my parents. The first time I went to a mental hospital against my will, and that's another story I can go into. I can make a video about that. But I went there against my will, supposed to work the next day, but they decided I was going to go to the mental hospital. The things I saw in there, I saw a guy who had he had it was first degree burns all over his body, just no skin left. You know, when I was living in there, they would check your room every 15 minutes to make sure you weren't cutting yourself or anything. It's because I wasn't even hurting myself when I went in there. I'll explain the whole story in a video. I'm gonna make a video on it, but I would say one of them was I saw this woman when I was in there. We did these activities every single morning. We were forced to do these certain forced to like tell everyone how we felt and do these fucking. It was like preschool all over again. We had to do these like coloring book activities, and if you didn't do these activities, then you'd have to stay longer in the fucking mental hospital. So we were forced to do these activities every morning, right? And just everything was programmed out. Everything was scheduled out for us. And if we didn't do it, then, you know, we'd stay longer, or they'd force us to do it. There was this woman who came in, where was it? There was this woman who came in, she had I think 30 cuts all over her arms in total. It was 30 or 40 cuts all over her arms. They were fresh, and she did it in her room, and she came in. Blood everywhere, blood on the floor, blood on all over the couch, bleeding everywhere. Looked like raptor claws, honestly. The cuts were this long, and this, this big in length. It was this big in width and this long in length, and she had 30 or 40 of them, and she came in like that. They were just everywhere, and she was just bleeding everywhere, and they had to walk her out and send her to the emergency hospital. I think she got sent to the hospital. But yeah, I was probably one of them. Um, let's see. I don't want to talk my lack of exercise. I work out 5 to 6 days a week. Um, let's see. That was probably one of the most traumatic ones. I mean, this lady had just cut up her arm and she just walked in and it was like out of a fucking horror movie. Like she was bleeding everywhere. Her arms were all cut up. The gashes were so fucking deep. It was bad. Yeah, they had people come in and that's what they did with us. That was the first time how you feel and yada 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 and. No, well, because these places aren't built to rehabilitate you, God. They're not built for rehabilitation. They're built, and that was just one experience. I can go into it in the second one, but they're built to fucking take money from you. They don't care about anything else except extracting money from you. These hospitals, they don't care about you. They could give a fuck less if somebody fucking shoved a knife in your gut and you were bleeding all over the floor and you died. They don't give a fuck about you. They only care about how much money they make. What's going on, Internet Complaint Department? It's the first time. Are you a new subscriber? It's the first time I've seen you. Welcome aboard the live stream. Everything is about money. It really is. It all comes back to money. It's just something that I've learned as I've gotten older, is everything every single motive or bad thing that people do, usually 99% of the time comes back to one thing. It all comes down to one thing. They did it for money. Did it for money. Money, more power, more this, more that. It's always about power. It's always about money. It really is. It's always about money and power. Money and power. He hates money because his parents love money. What are you talking about? Yeah, this world is all about money. My one broken people inside. Yeah. I have an iPhone 15. I don't have an ADHD diagnosis, no. But a lot of the symptoms that appear from that ADHD people have, like twitching, twicks, or tics, things like that. A lot of those symptoms happen when you're abused by narcissists, when you go through narcissistic abuse. So I'm not saying ADHD isn't a real thing, but that could be the culprit, for some of the things why I do some of the things that I do. Men sacrifice money for the partners. More actually comes second. Money actually comes second. Only iPhone Pro versions have the fastest 5G. Yeah, I mean, could be. I don't know. I don't have the Pro version though. Oh, you were recommended by us? Which video did he recommend it? Because I haven't seen his videos in a while. All right, that was nice of him. I appreciate you. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel, coming on board. Could be. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna look into it. I'm not gonna say. I'm a psychiatrist or anything, but I think a lot of these diagnoses, in my personal opinion, are made up. Are you afraid of ending up alone in life? I've already been alone in my entire life. So what would I be afraid of? If I've already been alone in my entire life, why would I be afraid of ending up alone in life? The only thing I'm afraid of right now is just not having the money to survive. The only thing I'm worried about right now is how can I get more money to survive? How can I stay afloat? I don't have time to be afraid of what if I'm going to end up alone. I'm living pretty much, I'm surviving day by day. So I don't have time to even think about it. Um, let's see. How exactly when did humans come to the point in life when we keep longevity of life versus quality of life, even if it's short, even if very short, like living to 30? Well, probably started during the Industrial Revolution when all these corporations started popping up. When corporations started realizing that they don't need to pay their employees well, they don't need to give out pensions, they don't need to give out benefits, they don't need to give out anything to sustain their employees because most people don't have a choice except to work for these corporations anyway. As soon as they found out that they can get away with stripping away everyone's benefits and making them work for slave wages, probably around that time. Probably when all these corporations realize that they don't have to keep their quality up to par because most people don't have any choice but to buy from these corporations unless you wanna go ahead and try to grow food by yourself. And but again, we have to work so much to feed ourselves. We have to work so much to keep a roof over our head. Nobody has time. Everybody's exhausted. So probably around that time. Um, let's see. BPD 2.0. What is BPD 2.0? Um, buy a tablet so you can see his chat easier. I mean, I don't. Sure, I'll get right on that. I don't have the money. Did you meet anyone with borderline? I don't know if I could diagnose them, but I met a lot of crazy people in there. I met one who was schizophrenic, claimed to be schizophrenic. Said that when we were watching TV, she would hear the TVs talking to her, and they would be like saying like devilish things. They'd be saying like evil things to her. Um, I saw another one who was clearly disturbed. I mean, I saw a lot of things in there. I blocked out a lot of it, honestly. I don't remember. I remember the really bad things, but I blocked out a lot of it. Um, it was bad. So it seems it seems nearly impossible to escape this wage cage. It's really hard. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, Natalie. Don't worry. No, Anton. Even if you were rich, you would still have to work to keep it. Really. Um, BPD versus COVID versus David Blaine versus Brandon versus Hillary. What? In Romania, engineers and tradesmen get paid minimum wage with no benefits. Jesus. Hey, no problem. Yeah, that's no problem, Natalie. Um, let's see here. Trying to see the comments I didn't get to. I got it. BPD sucks, but schizophrenia is worse. Common disease you can experience. Yeah, the way she was and the way she acted, it scared me. I mean, it really did. When she told me the TVs were talking to her, and it was like she would get really worked up, and there was a lot of shit that went on in that hospital that I don't even know if I feel comfortable talking about. There were times where she would get like, she wasn't violent. This person with schizophrenia, but like there were times where the staff were really violent with her, and I feel bad. Like the staff would come in, like she would get work. She had other things among schizophrenia. I think she was bipolar, but she would get like really worked up easily over some things, and like she would raise her voice, and she was kind of loud, and the staff just did not take. They had zero tolerance for it for this woman, for this poor woman, and she she like, I think it was like 2 or 3 times. So they all came in. There was a group of like 6, 7, 8 different people, 8 different staff members coming in, holding her down and injecting her with the what do you call it? The I don't know if it's the sleep medicine. I don't know what it was. Injecting her with whatever shit, knocking her out and carrying her to bed. Like I don't know what it was, but it was bad. Sorry, my contact's bothering me. Let's see. My significant other of 8 years and 5 months, I woke up to on March 16, 2024. He was dead beside me from fentanyl overdose. I'm still grieving it. It's like it never ends. I feel it. I understand how it is, because it's just like, it's one thing after fucking another, after fucking another, after fucking another. And but people don't understand, like, people who don't have a lot of trauma don't understand that it's just like, you can't just turn it off. Like, you need, if people who have 1 or 2 traumatic events in their life, it's like they get over it, because your body needs time to get over these traumatic events. They need time. You need time to heal. But when you have one traumatic event after another traumatic event after another traumatic event just happening like that in rapid succession, and you don't have any time to process it or to heal from it, it just keeps building up and building up and building up and building up, and then all of a sudden, like, every second of every single day, you're having these flashbacks, because you haven't been given the proper amount of time to heal from all these traumatic events, because you've had so many in your life, and they just keep building and building and building. So it's like, I get it. People who don't have a lot of trauma can't really fully understand what it's like. So I understand. Yeah, let's see. Don't become a federal agent. What? Let's see. I was in a 20-year relationship, and now I'm alone for 5 years. Never been more happy. I got a mortgage, serious debt, and live poor, but I'm happy now. Well, at least you're happy. I mean, I know it's, I guess it's, look, happiness is a choice to some extent, but to other, sometimes it's not. Like, you can have happy moments. I guess I'm gonna have to get back to you on that, because, like, what is happiness? I don't feel like I'm in the position, even at my age at 32, to really explain deeply what, how I can explain that in a sense to where I can even fully understand it, because I don't really know what happiness is. I don't, at least happiness in the sense of, you feel good, and you feel like everything's in order in your life, and you feel like you're in a good place in life, in a good position. If we're talking about it like happiness in that sense, then I mean, I don't really know what that is. I don't know what that feels like, I guess, if you want to put happiness in that kind of way. Let's see. Trying to get all your comments, guys. Excuse me. It's a lot of comments. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Insurance is also skyrocketing. Could sell my condo, but couldn't go back to renting since rent is skyrocketing near where I work. Geez, that's, well, if you have a condo and you have a condo paid off, I would honestly stick with your condo, really, because you could you could rent another place, but if you have your condo, they can't kick you. There's no landlord to kick you out of your condo, right? So anyway, I would probably stick with it, especially if it's paid off. I would stick with that. Having something that you own, especially if it's paid off, it's worth it, in my opinion. Anyway, Brandon, you are smart. I relate to you a lot. I have similar problems, where it be narc parents or working myself in the dust. I find learning more skills helps. Yeah, and again, like I said, I like mentioned it, you know, in this live stream. I'm trying to learn full stack web development. Doing a boot camp right now. I don't know if it's gonna lead anywhere, but like I said, I'm learning the whole HTML, CSS, React, JavaScript, about AI eventually, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that, you know, learning new skills will pay off, but only time will tell. So, um, let's see. Um, we're literally 32 too, by the way, in April 1993. They have no idea. No, they don't. You're welcome. Yeah, they don't have any idea. Normal people who have good parents, who have a support system, who didn't have to go through all this trauma and all this shit, and didn't have to go through the fact that they know their parents don't love them, and their parents fucking hate their guts, and they're not gonna ever support them. They're all on their own. It sucks. It's a fucking miserable life knowing that you don't have a support system to go back to. You don't have anyone calling you. You don't have your mom and your dad or anybody calling you every day, checking in, saying they love you, this or that, because they don't, and you know they don't. It's like you don't have anybody. It sucks. You only have yourself to get you out of this fucking hole that you got to deal with. All this shit that you got to deal with right now. You only got yourself, and it sucks. Let's see. I hate that about your dog. Natalie Chihuahua almost devoured me one time. Wait, what? I miss Millennials team. Anyone know if he's okay or any updates? I mean, he's made videos. I think he made a video the other day. He's still he's on YouTube right now. Yeah, I mean, he kind of got. I'm not gonna lie, he kind of got lazy with the thumbnails. Like, you know, they're all kind of one and the same, right? I mean, I like to design my thumbnails just because I think it's better. I think it's better, and the AI. Feel like the AI does a shitty job at it. So I like designing my thumbnails personally, but that's just me. I use AI for my thumbnails, but I also use Canva to design them. Let's see. Yeah, MS talked about multiple times. It shows his original material is way better, and it shows. Yeah, I haven't seen many of MS's new videos. As far as the live stream, I don't know if that's gonna happen. Like I've told people. I've told people multiple times, like, look, I've left comments on Millennials Team's channel. I've asked him if he's gonna do a live stream. He hasn't gotten. He said, I thought he said we would, but he hasn't gotten back to me since. So I don't know if there's gonna be a live stream with him. I'd like to do it. I've already answered this question with him. I've answered this question before. I'm open and willing to doing a live stream with Millennials Team if he's up for it. But he hasn't gotten back to me, so I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I appreciate it. I like building my thumbnails. Like, you have to build a good thumbnail to get people attracted to your video, right? You can't just rely on all the AI to do your thumbnails. I mean, it's more fun for me anyway to make the thumbnails in Canva and to make it about what the video is about. Like, one of the last videos I bought, it was about, you know, it's a scapegoat video, and I had like the goat, and I made everything like that. Well, besides like the background, but I made everything the like putting on the accessories for the goat and everything, because it was about like it was like a scapegoat video or whatever. I don't know. I just like doing the thumbnails, but I think it's better when you do the thumbnails and you're creative with the thumbnails. Let's see. Did he get demonetized? I think what happened was, yeah, he got demonetized, and he just felt like the channel it wasn't worth doing because he wasn't getting any money from it or whatever. And I don't know. He just like deleted his channel or something. I don't really know exactly what happened. he deleted his channel, or he was doing it to, to get some money. He was monetized, and he got demonetized, then he got demotivated, and then I think he just deleted it or something. I'm not sure exactly, again, but I'd have to ask him. I mean, in the sense of community. Okay. Wait, sorry, Brendan. I didn't see what your other comment said. What was your other comment? I apologize. I'm 32 and I have a weird sixth sense. I could be unemployed in my 40s, like these coal miners who've been unemployed for years. But you're right that I should keep my condo. Yeah, and you've already paid half for it, right? So you already paid for half your condo. I feel like if you give it up now and you go somewhere where you're just renting, look, you don't know who you're gonna get. You could get a bad landlord, you could get bad room, you could get bad neighbors. You just don't know, right? I mean, if you're planning on, let's say you're planning on moving, like you want to travel around, then maybe your condo isn't your best bet. But if you're not planning on going anywhere and you're gonna stay in the the same state where you're at, I would just keep the condo. You worked so hard to pay off half of it, and now if you keep working and you get up in the morning, you keep working, you'll know that you have something worth towards working off, right? A condo's worth, that's the reason to get out of bed and continue working, because you're gonna have your own place paid off. So in my opinion, because when you're paying rent, in my experience, when I had my apartment, I was paying rent. It was just like, it's just like if I don't pay this, I'm gonna get kicked out. It's like I didn't really feel a sense of like I'm working because I'm paying something off. No, it's like I'm working. I already had this car paid off. It's a piece of garbage, and now I'm just working to rent. I didn't really feel a sense of pride in anything I was doing. I was just working to pay the bills and to buy food. I wasn't working towards paying anything off besides the rent and food, my bills that I owed every month anyway. So let's see. I'd be down for a live stream. My schedule's all over the place. It'd be random. Yeah. I'd be down for a live stream too if you want to do one. Just let me know. I believe you probably have to. Again, I have a Discord. I have a link to my Discord. Which I still have to set up dates and times to where I can talk, because I'm gonna be talking with a set group of people individually for my Discord, just because I know the Discord's chaos right now and everybody's just coming in, and I've seen some people talking mean to others and leaving weird comments, and I gotta fix that up. I gotta fix this Discord up. I gotta make sure that there's only a set group of people. I'm gonna have a set group of people in this Discord at certain dates and certain times. And I'm gonna get that done. But it's just been so busy. So leave a Discord. You can again, my Discord's there's a link in the description. You can write out a message in my Discord. Let me know when you have time, and I'll try my best to set up a live stream with you. Let's see. What is grifting? I hear this grifting word all the time. Is grifting like being a scammer or something like that? I hear this grifting word all the time. I'm older. I don't know exactly what everything means. Let's see. The Internet Complaint Department, yes, guys, grift because no one actually does the bootstrap. Wait, what? In it for the money. Oh, okay. In it for the money, grifting. Got it. Okay. This guy. This guy's got a big truck. Sorry, I got distracted. This guy has a huge truck who's parking next to me. Healing. What market are you actually invested in, if any, sir? Oh, okay. I'll have to check it out. I haven't been in Discord in years, but doing lives for StreamYard because it's simple as fuck. What's StreamYard? I haven't heard of StreamYard before. Let's see. I do have to get something. I do have to get some kind of holder for my phone so I can stream. So I can stream better and not constantly do this. Let's see. I feel like I'm playing a video game on nightmare difficulty. Some days that's the level of difficulty. I mean, I feel it. Like, it's just like, it feels like nightmare difficulty, you know? And these baby boomers don't have a fucking clue. They really don't. A lot of them have been in their professions for decades. They already have pensions and you know, retirement savings and all this. And they don't understand. They don't understand how fucking grueling and painfully slow and just like mind-bogglingly painful the job application process is. Just the process for looking for a job, it's just like, you just want to, it's just like, if I could describe the job application process and the process of actually getting a job and doing all this, it's like you could make another Saw movie, and you could put that as like a torture trap. Like, you could put that as like a Saw trap in, like, if they were to make another Saw movie. You know, you would just be like, they would have like a, you know, they would have like a bomb. They would put you in like a chair, and they'd like strap like a bomb to your chest or something, and they would have you duct taped to a chair, and they'd bring you to a desk with a computer screen, and they'd just be like, you have to apply for 500 applications within the next hour, otherwise this bomb is going to explode, or like something. Like, they would make like a fucking, they could make a Saw trap out of how painful the job application process is, I swear to God. And all the while you're doing all these applications, you're not getting paid for it. That's the worst part, is how much goddamn time you're wasting doing these applications, doing this personality. We gotta do a personality test, because we got to see if your personality's a right fit for the company, because if it's not a right fit for the company, then we can't hire you. And fucking God. Then they got the math quizzes, and they got the science, and they got the, if this box is 90 degrees and this box is 80 degrees, then what's the direction of blah, blah, blah. And they got these shit tests, and it's like, dude, it's like, there's no difference. It's like going on a dating app. It's worse than dating apps. It's just worse than working the job a lot of the times. Even when you get the job and it's a shitty job, it's a worse process than just working the fucking job on the daily basis, even if it's shitty. Like, it's just so bad. So bad. So tedious. So horrible. I'm like flashbacks just doing it. I don't know. Thunderbird, thanks for the advice. I hope he can actually freeze himself from this wage cage, become financially free. I appreciate it so much, and thank you so much for the donation. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. You're awesome. I appreciate it so much. I gotta ask you for a friend. Are the boomers really selfish and entitled? I don't know what it is. They do seem very entitled and narcissistic. I don't know what it is. I'm also kind of new here. Look, all the baby boomers that I've seen, I'm not saying it's all baby boomers, but most of them, they just don't care. There was a study done. I'm gonna find it. There was an article that I saw. There was an article. Apparently, I can't remember what it is, but it was an article stating of like, there is only going to be like a certain, like, it was like, how much inheritance or how much wealth are you going to leave to your kids before you die? And it was this article and baby boomers were like being asked this, and it was like they weren't. It was like 70 to 80% of baby boomers or something like that, something along those lines, were not going to leave any inheritance to their kids. They had no plans of leaving any wealth to their kids, and we're just going to spend it all on themselves. And it was on this video I saw. It was a video of Ali Matthews talking about it. I'm gonna find this article, by the way, because he was talking about this article. But it was like, he was talking about how something like 70 to 80% of boomers just have no plans on giving any inheritance or any wealth to their grandkids or their grandchildren. They're just gonna die with the wealth, and the government's just gonna take it. And I'm like, it just seems like so many of them are just fucking selfish. Again, maybe it's just me, maybe it's just my family, I don't know. But my uncle's selfish like that too. My parents are selfish like that too. They just all seem to have this fucking me fucking attitude. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with that generation. I really don't. So, I don't know. Let's see. And when you do get the job, good luck paying for everything in the first place, even with, right, good luck paying for everything in the first place, because of how much hyperinflation is affecting our lives, how much the price of everything going up. Good luck paying the rent when the landlord decides to raise your rent by $200 more a month just because they can, just because they say they're struggling. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. The landlord's struggling? Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry. All you're doing is, all these landlords are mostly are doing is they're just collecting rent at the end of the month. They're not fixing up these apartments. They're not fixing things when things need to get fixed. They're not they're just collecting rent at the end of the month. They're like, well, we just need it because hyperinflation, this and that. It's like, but you're not doing anything to add value to these apartment complexes. You're just collecting my rent at the end of the month. Orders that I put in go unnoticed. You're not doing anything. Join a fraternity such as Oddfellows, BPOE, Elks, Eagles, Masons. Wait, why would wait? What are those? I genuinely don't know. What are the Masons? What are Oddfellows? What is BPOE? What are those? Baby boomers live in a smoker's alcohol infused bubble for them. I mean, it genuinely feels like it. Yes. They don't understand the struggles that the younger generations have to go through. They don't at all, because and I can understand why these baby boomers, they don't care. They don't care because, like, they're raised by a selfish generation. They're raised by the silent generation to be entitled. They were given everything by the silent generation because the silent generation had to go through struggles like World War II where they had nothing. So they had nothing. They went through World War II, and then the economy became great. The economy flourished, and they wanted to give their kids everything. And in the process of giving their kids everything they wanted, they created this entitled, this completely spoiled fucking generation that has all this wealth now, that has all these assets, that doesn't give a shit about anybody else but themselves. And it's just me all the time. Me. They don't understand what it's like for these younger generations to have to grow up in this completely squandered economy where there are little jobs, little job prospects, few employers are hiring, where we have to work with this dollar that's lost 90% of its purchasing power, that barely buys anything. We can barely buy food, and we have to live with roommates. We can't live in apartments by themselves. They have no fucking clue what it's like to be a millennial, to be a Gen Z in this age, and to have to deal with all this bullshit. They have no fucking clue. The boomers had it so goddamn good back then with how, with the dollar, the purchasing power they had with the dollar, and the jobs that they had, the fact that if they lost the job, they didn't have to worry about how they were going to get another one. Mostly, you can go across the street and get another one. You could have gone across the street and get another one. There were so many jobs back then that the boomers had so much money. They didn't have to worry about half the shit that we have to worry about. We have to worry about things that they couldn't have thought about worrying in their wildest dreams, like whether or not an AI robot is going to take our jobs, or whether an immigrant is going to take our jobs, or whether it's our resume is going to get thrown in the trash or read by an AI, or whether we're going to be able to get a job in the first place or pay our rent. These are all problems that they didn't have to worry about back then. So it's like, I don't know. I don't even think they care to understand. I don't think most baby boomers care to really understand the struggles that millennials and Gen Z have to go through. Honestly, my personal opinion, from what I've seen, most of them have an attitude, they have a mentality of, I got mine, So screw everybody else. But I'm gonna give your stream a like, by the way. Thank you. Use humiliation rituals to find the most desperate people, and when do you get the job? Oh, okay, right. DN, okay, DNX, yeah, exactly. The few Gen Xers I know, they seem alright. They could socialize pre-internet. They didn't need any special skills. Life was good. We got yeah, we did. The Shriners Hospital is an example of community fraternity helping out. You could join, okay? Shriners Hospital? Well, the thing is, we had an agreement. We had an agreement that she wouldn't enter my room. Like, she wouldn't enter it because I'm paying the rent, and that's my private space. I'm paying the rent to have the room and to be able to use the kitchen. So, and you know, we already had that agreement in the first place that she wasn't gonna. Well, she told me she wasn't gonna enter it. She told me she wasn't gonna enter it. And the time she told me it's like, well, how do you know it's dirty if you're going in there? Unless you're going in there. There is a 25% to be born in Indian. So imagine if you're born in India, 25% chance. Jeez, where are you getting this information from? Do I think my parents love me? No, I don't. I really don't think they love me. I don't think they're capable of loving. I don't even think they love my brother and sister. I don't think they love anybody. Do my siblings? I think my siblings are brainwashed. I think they're brainwashed against the fact that, and I've tried to explain this to them. I've tried to explain the fact that, look, they don't love you. They don't care about you. My dad has made my brother cry. My dad has made my sister cry. I've seen the selfishness from my parents, not helping out my brother and sister with certain things, not caring about them, calling them names. Like, they don't, I've told my brother and sister this, like, they don't care about you in the way that, you know, they care about you in a way that a narcissist cares about their doll, okay? They want to have fun with you. They want to play with you, aka they want to play mind mental games with you. They want to torture you. They want to have fun with you in a way that's, they don't care about you as a person, as a human being. They care about you. The narcissist cares about you to the extent of which you can get them validation. You can't give them validation if they have no use for you. If they're not getting something out of you, then they're not going to care about you. That's you know, that's the mentality of a narcissist, and that's the mentality of my parents. Is if they're not getting something out of you, they don't care. No, I don't believe my parents ever cared about me. I don't believe I ever cared about my brother and sister. I think my brother and sister care about me to an extent, but they just don't understand the extent of the damage that's been done to them psychologically by my parents. And I think they're honestly, in my personal opinion, they have some Stockholm syndrome. I personally believe that. So that's what I think. From Junior Layer from Better Call Saul. I saw a little bit of that. I saw like an episode or two of that. I couldn't get into it. I saw Breaking Bad, obviously. I saw Breaking Bad with season 1 through 5. Breaking Bad, you know, it doesn't really get much better than that when it comes to TV shows. They don't make them like they used to. They really don't make shows like Breaking Bad or Once in a Lifetime. They don't make shows like they used to make them. Smartphones really did in millennials and Gen Z. You know, millennials were the last ones to really live a life, some kind of life. The millennials that were born in, you know, the late 80s and 90s, we were the ones to really live a life before smartphones took over, you know? We really were. I mean, we were late teenagers, early adults. when smartphones started taking over, but we were one of the last ones to know what it was like to go outside. I mean, man, you used to see people. I used to be there. I've said there's a lot of bad parts about my life, but there are also good parts about my life. From the super soaker fights to water balloon fights to just playing outside in the sprinkler to using slip and slides. You go over to my neighbor's house, play. You have the PS2 over. We'd play PS2 with my neighbor. My neighbor down, 3 or 4 houses down had a giant pool. We go inside the pool. We used to have airsoft fights with like electric airsoft guns. Kids just they don't know. Like we used to have like with my other neighbors, we used to have lightsaber fights in the woods. Like kids do not know how fucking good things were before all this technology came over and before it all came out. They just don't understand how good things were. Things were so good back then. And smartphones, technology, it did a number on everybody, man. It really did a number on these kids. And I remember it bad when I was with my first girlfriend, with my ex, but I was with my first girlfriend, and it was really bad back then when we had to, even back then, like they were always like her brother and sister were always on the tablet. They were always on the smartphone. This was back in like 2012, 20 to 2014, all the way up to 2017. It was getting really bad. They were always on the smartphone. They were always on the tablet because her mom and dad were always working. So it's just like they were always left alone with either us because we always had to babysit them and we always had to watch them, and they were always on the fucking smartphone. They were always on the tablet, and they just wouldn't get off of it. Like they were addicted to it back then even. It was bad back then, but now it's just like I don't know of any kids that go outside or does any of that. Like they're all on the smartphone. They're on the video games. Like, and I understand we had video games and things like that back then, but it didn't take complete control. It didn't take complete control of our lives like it has now. I don't know. I'm just getting old, I guess, but yeah, I mean that's gonna be one of my next videos, by the way, for the people who aren't in the live stream. I'm gonna make a video on how life was for us millennials before technology. It's gonna be a video about how people who have kids right now need to raise them. They need to show. The topic's gonna be about millennials, and it's gonna be about how we were the last generation to actually go outside, to actually do things, to actually live a life outside of technology, and I'm going to go about those talking points of how it was for us. And I'm also going to go into talking points about, what people can do who have kids, who, really have no choice but to adapt with technology and use tablets and use smartphones. And I'm going to give people advice with kids on what they can do to make sure that they don't get addicted to the smartphones and the tablets, and to show them to show them how life was before the tablets took over, before the smartphones took over, before AI started taking over, before all this technology. I'm going to give people, I'm going to try to do to the best of my ability. I'm going to give people with kids advice on how they can prevent them from becoming addicted to it. And I know I don't have kids. I'm not, I know I don't have kids, but I will say that I know what it's like to babysit kids for years and years and years and years, because I did, like I said, I did have to, with my ex for like 4 or 5 years, I had to watch her brother and sister all the time. And it was a challenge to get away. It was a challenge to get them away from the smartphones and the tablets. But there were things that we did to get them away, things that, we did with them that would give them a temporary break, at least from the tablets and the smartphones. So like I said, although I don't have kids, I can give you advice on how to kind of navigate that, so you don't, they don't spend their entire life on the smartphone, their entire life on the tablet. and, you know, tips and like tricks to like show them how life was before growing up with all this technology, so they can, you know, they can be a kid. So I think it's important. I think it's important to show them how life was before, to you know, to have them play outside, to have them do things, to have them explore on their own. Because I know what it was like for me. Like, I did explore, but you know, I didn't explore that much. I know what it was like for me. Um anyway, I'm getting off track. Let's see. Have I ever felt a sense of genuine love? Whether it was self-love or with others? No, not really. Um, I don't really know what that's supposed to feel like. Like, I guess I can't, because I can't really like, I can't really describe it. Like, what do you mean, like a genuine sense of love? Like, I don't really know. I don't. So I guess no. All I really feel is I just feel numb every day. I feel numb. Like, I don't really feel any kind of genuine love, I guess you could say. No. I mostly feel numb. Um exactly, treated more like a thing. Okay, I read that one, I think. Was born in 97, so I saw the transition for it firsthand, yeah. Went from flip phones in the 8th grade to iPhones and Instagram by grade 12. Yeah, I mean, that's when everything started going downhill. I want to say was 2010s, to the 2010s, that, you know, I want to, well, maybe 2012 and onward, you know, really when Snapchat and all that started coming out, it just started becoming a problem. I mean, the smartphones just took everything, it took over every facet of our life so fast, the smartphones. It's just like, it was like you know, the smartphones are like a slow poison that just creeped into everybody's life, you know. When the first smartphone came out in 2007, it's like you'd see them everywhere once in a while, and all of a sudden once the 2010s, and, you know, once we got to 2010, 11, 12, 13, it just blew up, and everybody had a fucking smartphone. It's just like, it just creeped into everybody's lives, you know. And then all of a sudden, you needed a smartphone for everything. You needed a smartphone to order food online, or to order at a restaurant, or, you know, to apply for jobs, and it just took over everything. The fucking smartphones. Everybody has an addiction, and it's the smartphone. Even me, even me with the fucking smartphone. Everybody has this addiction. Everybody has at least one addiction, whether they want to believe it or not. And it's the thing that you hold at. It's the thing you hold in your hand, and the thing you look at every single day. So, heartfelt. Thank you so much for the donation. Sensitive Quest. Do you believe in God? Me, atheist. You're an atheist? Okay. I it's how hard you are. It's totally fine. Like, you don't feel pressured to give me money or anything. It's totally fine. I feel honestly bad that you did. Um, please save your money next time. I'm broke, but it's like, it'll give me two. It's totally fine. I didn't, like, you know. Don't feel pressured. Anybody in this chat, please don't feel pressured. You know, I know I have the super chat on, but don't feel pressured. Especially if you're broke, guys, save your money. Please save your money. Save your money. Use it for you. If you're broke, please don't give me money. I appreciate it, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to be the reason for you growing, you know, for you going even more broke. Again, not that I am not saying that I don't appreciate it. I really do, but I just I don't want to see anybody, you know, go more, you know, if you're already broke, I don't want you, just save your money, please. Because it's hard out here. 2012 was the last start of a major change for the worse. I want to say it was around 2012 to 2013, 2014. As the smartphones became more advanced, as technology just kept becoming more advanced, things started changing. The way everybody lived or started living our lives, you know, everything started changing again with how the applications were, how we couldn't do paper applications anymore. Everything had to be online. Our resume had to be online. Everybody was communicating through different kind of social media apps. People started spending less and less time alone. Then the Netflix came out, then the Hulu came out, then the Roku and the HBO and everything came out. And the things that we used to do and the places we used to go started becoming vacant. Malls, movie theaters, everything just started becoming, people started going out less and less and less and less and posting more and more and more and more online. We're more connected than ever, but we're more disconnected than ever. And it's because of the smartphones. It's because of social media. It's taken over everything. People think that this attention that they're getting online, this friend list that they have on Facebook, is somehow meaningful to their lives. Like, look at all the you don't have any. This is all social media. These people, if you haven't hung out with any of these people within the past year or so, these people aren't your friends. They're just on your friends list. Anybody can send a message to somebody and say, hi, hope you're doing well, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But it's the people who are in your life who are willing to drop what they're doing to help you out or to spend time with you or to get to know you better in person or what count. These people who are on social media who send you a message every once in a while, it doesn't matter. And people have lost sight of that. People have lost sight of what it means to make friends in real life, but more so what it means to actually live a life outside of the screen that they're looking at. And it's just these apps are, again, the only thing I really use is YouTube. I don't use Instagram. I don't use TikTok. I don't use X, whatever. It's fucking stupid name, X, but whatever. It should have just been Twitter, but whatever. I don't use any of those other apps. And even YouTube is dangerous because you just find yourself scrolling through video after video. You gotta watch this video or watch this video, and then it's like you're not living your life. You're watching other people through a screen. Even YouTube it's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's such a waste of life. It's a waste of life. It's a waste of time. In my opinion, it's a worse addiction. It could be a worse addiction at times than even just smoking, because people, you look at the phone more than you actually take a puff out of your cigarette. For everybody who's a smoker, I mean, it's just bad. It's almost I want to say almost, if we're talking on a mental level, because obviously smoking is bad, it's worse for you physically. But if we're talking just on a mental level, on what, cigarettes, what they do mentally to you compared to what social media does to you, it's not even a comparison. Social media just ruins your brain. It just rots your brain. It really does. And it's such a time waster and a waste of time. Just watching videos and other people, it's especially if they're pointless videos, especially if they're pointless, stupid videos. It's just, I don't know. So, TikTok is absolute cancer. I cannot stand. I cannot. I have a TikTok. I made one because other people wanted me to make a fucking TikTok. I made the TikTok. I went on it like twice or three times, and I never used it again. I hate TikTok. Just absolute brain rot content. And there's nothing good on TikTok. There's no reason for me to want to go on TikTok, nor Instagram, nor any of these apps, because it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit all the time on these apps. Let's see. The internet was good when it had independent communities. Right, when you had forums, you had blogs, you could comment. Well, now it's like, because the Second Amendment, it's being jeopardized practically. You can't post certain things on Facebook. This is a hate crime, or this is hate speech, or whatever. It's hate speech is essentially free speech being taken away from you. They make all these labels, all these things in order to take away free speech from you. As long as you're not threatening somebody, as long as you're not trying to do harm, you're not commenting something that's a threat to somebody, okay? But it's like, no, you have a different opinion and it gets removed from YouTube. You have a different opinion and it gets removed from Facebook. You say something somebody doesn't like, you get reported and you get shadow banned or whatever. It's free speech is being taken away. Free speech is being taken away from us. And so is the Second Amendment. So is the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment's being taken away from us. Now they're trying to get laws passed banning certain guns, banning certain attachments, banning certain it's just it's crazy what's going on today. It really is. Let's see. I tried to make a Facebook and it was requiring me to, yeah. Now you got facial recognition. We need to scan a picture of your face, so it's just, it doesn't have anything to do with that. So we know it's you. It's about invasion of privacy. It's about invasion of privacy. It's about taking away your rights, and it's about taking away your privacy. That's what it's about. That's all it's about, is taking away your rights, taking away your privacy. Let's see. I mean, YouTube has gotten really bad. It's not the YouTube it used to be. It's so filtered. It's so many corporate news stations and corporate media channels on YouTube now. Like, I remember, like, you could post pretty much anything on YouTube before, as long as it wasn't super hateful or super threatening, to a certain race or anything like. But now it's just like, everything is just so regulated, and on YouTube, it's that's why people are going to websites like BitChute, and they're going to websites like Kick. They're going to other websites because they actually have a voice over there. You actually have freedom of speech over there, but on YouTube it's like anything. If YouTube could be summed up in one phrase, it would be: anything you use, anything you say can and will be used against you, because that's what YouTube feels like. Anything you say or do will be deleted, can be deleted, and you will get shadow banned. That's what YouTube feels like. Let's see. YouTube is still, it's still not, I mean, I don't know, man. It's gotten pretty bad. Like, there's okay content, but it's not the YouTube it once was. It's really not. 2016 YouTube was pretty. I mean, it was still pretty good back then. But now it's just, it's not what it used to be. All right. What are my best qualities as a man individual? My best qualities as a man individual, I don't know. I would say I'm honest. I'm straightforward. I don't play games. I don't, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna tell you like it is. I'm gonna tell it how it is. I'm gonna tell you my opinions, what I think, and if you don't like it, well, that's too bad.